Good afternoon and welcome to Carnation Crafts. We are live in the Carnation Crafts studio, and as always it is lovely to have your company. We are here today. We launched yesterday, which was very exciting, with Ponderance Place. It's a brand new launch for 2023 and it is crazy awesome. It is selling incredibly fast. In just one day we are now well over 60% gone. We will say just at this point we don't know if we get an extended how long away that will be, so if you do want to grab this, now's the time to do it. Pop it into your basket. Just to let you know, the number for this is 230101. That's for the full collection for Ponderance Place. Now, your best price today is to get that for £98.99. If you want to get it at that price, you are going to have to put a code in when you get to checkout. That code is PPCC10. You need to do that in uppercase letters, otherwise it won't go through on your checkout basket. So make sure you put that code in, PPCC10, and that is going to give you a full 10% discount. While we're on that as well, if you are popping that into your basket now, there is also another collection, in case you want to put that in as well, of the new nested dies, and they are absolutely stunning. You can just see them here next to me. They are the Slate dies. The lovely, gorgeous Miss Sharon is going to go through all the boards for you, and she's going to take you through the whole lot, but I did just want to point that out now. They are 230110. It's your Slate Edge collection, and again, best price for that is £107.99. Now, if you get both of those at best price, you take the 10% discount off both. What does that come to, Miss Taz? She's going to work it out for us. It will be free P&P in the UK, because anything over £50 on the Carnation Crafts website across the board is free P&P when you spend over 50. If you're an international shopper with us, it does have different shipping and handling charges. Pop onto the Carnation Crafts website and you'll be able to see all of those there, so you'll get the full details for it. Miss Taz?
If you buy them both together with your best price,
yeah,
your first PayPal payment of 3 is £68.99.
£68.99 if you do it PayPal Pay in 3, so that'd be your first payment.
Or if you're doing ClearPay 4, it's £51.75.
£51.75 if you're doing that in your ClearPay 4 payments. So it's all awesome. That's for both collections. Good morning, Jacqueline Ward. How you doing? So that is for both collections. That's pretty awesome going. Remember, there's perfect papers as well. We will go through those while we're going through the show. But just to bring you back to Ponderance Place, because it's just the cutest thing in the world. Ponderance Place is kind of, it's your really core Carnation artwork. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautifully done. It's that peaceful garden, that tranquility that we expect and that we get from the Carnation artwork. Mandy says, good afternoon all, my dies arrived this morning. That's mental, isn't it?
That's
when you
very
think
fast.
We only launched yesterday. Mandy, thank you for letting us know that. We do appreciate it. So, Ponderance Place, we've got your little puddle buddies here. Your puddle buddies are all of your little animals or little insects, because we've got a beautiful snail called Alan, and they all float and swim on the different pails that we've got, which you can see underneath on pots and pails. You've got Leafy Hollow, which is this gorgeous little kind of fairy house in a little fairy garden, and it's got a really beautiful little rocking chair next to it, which is like my rocking chair downstairs, Miss Sharon. Then you've got Within the Reeds card shape. That is a full card shape, but it's the most versatile die I've used in a long time. You can do so much just with that one main piece. If you're buying individuals, that's my top tip. I think it's absolutely brilliant. We've got Free Flowing, which is your water flowing down into that gorgeous pot at the bottom. We will go through all of the boards. You'll see it in detail. On the bottom shelf, we've got Perfect Form, which is your Carnation mouse. He's just about to jump off his diving board. Then you have got your little Rockery at the bottom as well. They're great for doing decoupage, but they're also great as standalone pieces for your grounding devices. Then you've got your Flourish of Swallows, and like we say, you've got your pots and pails. So lots to sink your teeth into, but we do obviously want to see them in detail. Before we go to the boards, I do just want to show you some finished samples so you can see roughly what you're getting, because they look so lovely. So I'm just going to hold a few of these up, and Miss Taz will do her magic and show you those close up so you can see exactly what you're getting. But these are beautiful. These are all done by the Carnation DT. You can see the detail in each card. I can't be any stiller than that, Miss Taz. I'm sorry. I'm a very shaky human. The swallows I love. So this is Janine's, just there. And the last one was Barbara's. Thank you to all the DT. You are amazing. The slates, can you see the background here? They are the slate nested. They're insanely awesome. And the slates, the nested dies this time also come with vignettes, which is very unusual for nested dies. So you do get the artwork for them as well. I'm going to show you another one because I love this. We were talking about that within the reeds card shape. This is a perfect example from Sue here of how that comes together when you place two together to create this gorgeous dimensional card. And there's the little mouse. He is just having the best time. So this is Ponderance Place. I'm going to get Sharon to show you the boards, and then we're going to get Sharon to demo as well. She's doing all the work today. It's very, very lovely. So I'm going to pass you over. Sharon, what have we got?
Starting with the lovely Puddle Friends. Are they Puddle Friends? Puddle Buddies? Now, you've given these names, haven't you, Carla? So we've got this fabulous frog. Let me move these.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Yeah,
Jeremy's
it was Nick. It was Nick that gave them.
Oh, was it Nick?
Yeah,
I was wondering if it was you that made them up.
I would never.
I love him. And I love the colours on these. They're just so, so cute. So we've got this lovely little frog. Don't forget, of course, with the mirrored vignettes, these can be mirrored, which means that you can have them facing whichever way. Then this beautiful snail, Alan. Love the colour on his shell.
Isn't it beautiful?
And he works so well if you want to decoupage him up, snip away that shell and layer it up, because it just works so beautifully, because you can see you've even got kind of the shadow on the artwork there. So if you do that, it looks really natural. And then we've got this gorgeous duck. What's he called?
Norman.
Norman. Love this. And of course the duck's going to work so well with a lot of the other dies in the collection, because you've got the lovely little puddles and that lovely like a sort of pan of water, haven't you?
It is, yeah.
So those are going to work so well to create your scenes. So that is your Puddle Buddies. Now next up we've got the Carnation mouse.
Isn't he beautiful?
Diving off his little steps. So these are great again for building a scene, and these are going to work with a few of the other dies actually. So you can have him jumping off these steps into the water. Love his little swimsuit, his little stripy, his little old-fashioned stripy swimsuit, really cute. And of course, the way he is, you can kind of here he's literally just launching off, but you can have him sort of going down. And I saw yesterday you had a brilliant design team card where on the inside they had a continuation with him going down, and that was really cool.
It's really sweet, isn't it? The way you get to see it sort of it's like almost like a cartoon strip.
Yeah,
where you get the
kind
motion,
of the steps. Yeah.
The next bit. There is a collection with Carnation. I'm going to say it might be into spring. There's a little set that you get, and it's got like almost like telephone poles in it going across. And if you're canny with them, they look like trampolines. He would be brilliant on that.
Yeah, he would, because
like
he is jumping, isn't he? But his little face, very cute. So that is perfect form. Now this free flowing one is a real great scene builder, because it's got some height. Love the way that Nick and his team have done this water. You can just see that it looks like water, doesn't it? This is great if you want to add your glossy accents and things as well, to give that some dimension and make it really glossy and shiny. The other thing with this set is you can snip into this really easily. So if you want to use the pot on its own, this is just a great sort of grounding element. You've got all these florals in the front. Love this copper pipe. And even this plank, you can snip that away and use that separately. So there's lots of different ways to use this. Of course, as always with Carnation, you can have it facing either direction because it's a mirrored vignette. And then you've got your mats and layers for this. So if you're wanting to place this and have it sort of standing out from the background, you've got your mats and layers to go behind it. So that's free flowing. Now we've got these pots and pails. These are great for building your scene, and this is that little pan that I said looks great with the ducks in. It's just the perfect size for that. The artwork is stunning because these are just so realistic. This really looks like sort of brass or copper. It's got, you can see the shine on it.
Just have full realism, doesn't it?
Really
just to let
realistic.
you all know at home as well that all of Carnation's artwork is done in-house. So we have a creative director called Nick, and he has a team as well, and they create everything in-house. So it's all sketched out, then it's painted, it's on the computer, it's done, and it's designed to become a die. That's its purpose. So that's why we know the dies are always superior quality, because everything is designed from the starting point right to where you get it in your pour, where it has been done purely on that journey to get us to where we are. So it's really important to us that, and we're proud of it. You know, it's a really lovely thing for Carnation to be able to say, this is genuine, in-house, lovely, lovely artwork. And they're all on the Carnation Crafts website, which is www.carnationcrafts.co.uk.
Yes, so these are really great for building up your composition. You've got this lovely terracotta pot. Love the detail on this, where it's even got some nice little moss on it. The florals in this set obviously will work brilliantly with this. Then you've got this lovely pail or bucket. The detail in these is just stunning. The wood grain, when you feel it, it actually feels like wood grain. The way that the dies have got little cut marks to give you the shape is just, it's quite unique actually. And then you've got this lovely pan here that you can put your little ducklings in. So these are your pots and pails. Now we've got these beautiful swallows.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
Really pretty. Again, love the way that these flow across. So these are great. Yeah, that's a beautiful card, isn't it? Really simple. And I love this slate in the background actually. That just goes really well with those. But you can see here, they're great. You don't have to use them all as one. You can snip out individual birds to create more of a scene and fill in whatever gap you've got. But this card's a perfect example of just picking out a couple of elements from the whole collection. You've just got a few florals. Love the fact that in all of the Carnation collections, really, they think about the grounding elements. You never have things that look like they're floating in midair. You've always got some element that works for that.
Right?
It's really important, and a lot of die companies don't think of that.
No, because I think on the whole, a lot of this is the difference with having an artist that does it, because obviously Nick's understanding is that his ducks and stuff would not float in midair, and so he understands from a sketching point of view that it needs to have something at the bottom in order to make everything grounded, and that's why we get those dies. That's why we get a different vision to a lot of other companies, because they see it from an artist's point of view. That sketch starts somewhere, and Nick's not just going to randomly sketch a duck or a chick. He's going to do that in position with something, and that's why we get the artwork that we get. It's important. It's important for us because we produce better cards as crafters when those elements are taken care of.
It you know, it makes it easy for you, doesn't it? You don't have to think about it. And you know, I know with other companies, I've ended up going in with watercolour paint to create some grounding, because you need it otherwise. Yeah, your duck floating in midair looks really ridiculous on a card front, and it's one of those things that makes your card look professional or amateur, and it's a really, it seems like a small thing, but it's actually a huge thing. So just that little rock is just such an important die in itself. So that is your lovely flourish of swallows, and here are the all important, just as we were talking about. These rocks, these are just perfect for the scene. With the little house, these work perfectly. You can see here, this bottom piece here, you've got your depth, you've got your perspective, you've got rocks in the foreground, then you've got your duck, then this fence is right back in the background, the flowers are in the midground. So it really helps build that perspective. And as Carla said, that's the difference between having proper artists design the dies as opposed to just thinking about the shapes of the dies. They're thinking about the artwork, the colours, the whole scene in general. So that's what really sets Carnation apart, and that's why we love them so much. So with the rocks, you've got 3 different sizes. They're very easy to snip into. So if you do want to sort of change the configuration to fit whatever space you've got, you can. And the detail on them is lovely. You can see you've got all the shadows underneath. So these are just really, really useful.
Awesome for rural charm. If anybody's making anything with rural charm, because where your fences are and your little animals poking over those rocks at the bottom are amazing for that.
Yes, they would work really well with that, wouldn't they? Now this little dwelling is very cute. I think this is my favourite actually. I do love this little house. Very, very cute. Little rocking chair to go with it. This is definitely your scene builder, and you can see on this card here how lovely it is to just build it all up. You can get some real shape to this. You can see this has been shaped with a ball tool, so it's got real curve to it. A little snail in the foreground. Love the little water droplets on here. I've got some bits with me in my little bag to show you some
course you do,
ideas for
Michelle.
these. And I knew Carla was going to take the mickey out of me. When I was putting my bag together, I thought, oh, she's going to laugh at me.
Miss Taz will be very excited. It's wonderfully done.
It's funny though, but with every Carnation collection, there's something, and it's usually something little that I'm drawn to. Like before, it was the sort of crystally, snowy element on the handbags and shoes.
Yeah. Where you just pick up that gloss.
This, I just thought, oh, I love those little rain droplets. They look so realistic. The artwork is, I mean, it is mind-blowingly good, isn't it?
It is, and I love the fact you can decoupage it as well. I was
Yes, I
decoupaging
saw
up the
that
roof
yesterday.
just that build on that roof to make it sort of more rotund.
And that really works because, you know, when you look at the artwork, you can see there's kind of shadow already under the roof, as you would expect. Yeah. So you kind of enhance that if you start decoupaging it up. And this little top bit as well, I saw you snipped into that. And the way that the die is designed, it's very easy to snip that roof off, isn't it? You haven't actually got to sort of fussy cut it.
Pit marks.
There's just little pit marks, yeah.
So when we talk about when it is designed and they take it from the journey of sketching it to getting it to a die, one of those elements is on a computer working out where the pit marks are best placed and where the cut lines are best placed. The cut lines help us sculpt out the shape of the pieces so we get a better shaping off on our end product. But the cut lines that are in there, the little pips, hold certain pieces together, but it creates it so that when we do snip into it, it gives really easily. You're just cutting a pip away, and that means that everything comes apart really nicely so that we don't have jaggy edges. So it looks beautiful when you do your decoupaging on it, and that's why they're so versatile, because we can kind of take them to pieces and rebuild them. Did you see the card sample yesterday? I'll have a look and see if I've got it on here at some point. Somebody used the roof of the house. They snipped it away. Did you see it? And they used it at the bottom, which was just a brilliant idea. So it's all about how you're going to structure it as you go along. Yeah,
it's just a really nice element, isn't it? Decorative element, that roof. So you definitely could use that independently.
Can I just very briefly interrupt? Debbie has just commented, said, good afternoon. Is there a code to get this at $98.99 as it's only showing the higher price? Debbie, there is a code. So $98.99 is the best price, and you can get that when you go to checkout. Just pop in PPCC10. Do that all in uppercase, and when you do that, it will automatically knock 10% off. That's 10% off Ponderance Place, which is 230101. And also, if you're getting the slates or the perfect papers or anything else off the Carnation Craft website, actually, it'll be different for the Carnation website, but it will give you it for anything that's to do with Ponderance Place. I believe it'll be on the slates as well, isn't it, Taz? At the minute. Because the nested dies, the slates, they will stay in stock all year. You'll be able to get those whenever you need them, because they're nested dies. There are essentials, but Ponderance Place obviously will be its own unique. So we'll find out whether that code works on the slates for you, but it definitely does work on the main collection. But please remember to put it in PPCC10. It's just on the top of your screen that way, and so just make sure you put that in. Taz says yes, it is for the slates at the moment. That may not be the case later down the line, so it is a show code, so get that in while you can. Sorry, Sharon.
No, that's okay. So that was Leafy Hollow. Next up, this is our card shape, our florals, everything.
Stunning.
This is stunning. So I love the way with Carnation that we have such unique card shapes. And here, who's done this one? Sue. Sue's put two together, which I really love. The composition of this is so clever. So you've got your card shape. So you've got your mats and layers. When we come to demo, we'll talk about that more. But it's very easy to put your card shape together, just cutting two of these from white 350 GSM. Then you've got your reeds, and then you've got the florals, which you can layer up. On their own, the reeds are lovely, and they're quite simple, and a lovely scene builder. But then you can add in pops of colour once you print off and die cut your flowers, because you can layer them up. Now, all of the flowers have got really lovely, very thin stems, which means you can pretty much pop them anywhere on top of these reeds, and you won't really see the stem, so you haven't got to worry about how long the stem is. So you can pop one quite near the top, and it won't look odd that the stem doesn't go all the way down, because you really can't tell. So they're really quite delicate. You've got this lovely fence as well, which is a very useful sort of scene builder. You've got a little puddle in the front, so this works really well with a lot of the characters. Here you can see the ducks floating on there. And this is where all your scene building and perspective comes in, really, because we've got the rocks there, we've got the little steps there, And here is our little mouse diving into this puddle. So really, really pretty. But this set in particular is kind of your main element for it, for the collection. So as always, you can mirror the flowers, which of course as you layer them up it means that you get a really full bouquet that doesn't all look the same. So really, really clever, and you can see you've got a lot of variation there in the florals as well.
Ponderance
So that's
Place.
Ponderance Place.
It is a beautiful collection from Carnation. Just to go over some housekeeping with that, the code for Ponderance Place on the Carnation Crafts website is 230101. I think you'll be able to do it at the minute, but I would imagine it has a banner on the front for it, but in future reference, if you're watching this back at a later date, the code for it is 230101. That's Ponderance Place. That's the whole bundle. The best show price today is $98.99, and that's with a 10% discount that you get by using the code PPCC10. And if you just use that at checkout, it's going to give you 10% off this and off the slates. We're going to have a look at the slates now. These are your nested dies. These are a beautiful new collection, but they come with vignettes, so we're getting artwork, in-house artwork for these, which are absolutely beautiful. You're getting all the way through all your shapes. So there is the squares, the circles, the hearts, the ovals, the hexagons, the DLs, and the rectangles, the full set there. So do go and check those out on the Carnation Crafts website. Because it's launching at the same time as Ponderance Place, you're getting it at a really super special price. So the whole collection of those, and I believe there's over 70 dies there, or 70 dies, the whole collection of that, you're getting it only for $107.99, but it is a special show price. So it will go up to its normal price, which is $174.93. So the saving is enormous. There are different options that you can pay at checkout. So you're getting PayPal and ClearPay there as well. So you can split up those costs. I would say that if you fancy those and you fancy Ponderance Place, today's the day to get both of them while you're getting that 10% discount, because it is huge. So pop it into your basket. Free UK P&P because it's over £50. International shipping, that includes the US, anywhere else internationally, you can get that for $4.95. That's the bundle. If you want to add in the perfect papers, which are here, you are going to pay another £10. That'll be $14.95, but that's for the bundle and for a set of papers for international shipping and handling. Carnation always keep that at the lowest possible price. If you don't want the perfect papers and you want to swap them, for instance, ProPrint, or you'd like to swap them for smooth cardstock, you can do that, but you do need to let Carnation know that that's what you want to do. They'll make sure that that gets swapped over to you and shipped out. Everything that Carnation do is shipped out pretty much as you order it. So they literally pick it and pack it when they get the order through. So you can expect really fast service, really good customer service. And as Mandy said at the top of the show there, she ordered yesterday. It's already arrived with her this morning. So we're going to have, oh yes, Mr. Stas.
Liz also said she got hers today.
Liz also got hers today, so it's incredibly fast. We are going to have a look at those slate dies. We were talking about the artwork that you got for them. I'm going to show you the artwork just for the one set, and then Miss Sharon's going to show you the boards. But just to show you, you get these gorgeous grey and chalk white layers there. The artwork is on the Carnation Crafts website, which is www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. There's the artwork for you there. You can just see how beautifully designed they are. The gorgeous edging that you get on those the nested dies that you've got here. Like we say, 70 dies. It's a huge collection of nested. Nested are always going to be your most important dies. They're the ones that carry you through in so many different ways. But Miss Sharon, if you want to show us the boards,
I'll show you the shapes, and I love that grey slate.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
I know I'm going to be using that a lot, definitely. So these are the ovals. What I love with the ovals as well is when you get near the centre, they're a little bit more elongated, and that means they're going to work really well for popping sentiments on. So that's your ovals. Let's pop those out the way. These boards are so much dimension with these layers. They're like so high. So these are your hexagons. All that detail on the edging is just lovely. The sizing's great as well, because the largest is large enough that you can create a card shape from it. Then you've got all your mats and layers. So I'll whiz through these because we've seen the shape. It's more about the different styles we've got. So here's your rectangles. Again, these centre ones are perfect for putting your sentiments on. You've got a really good, as you say, a lot of dies here and a lot of layers. So I agree with you. Nesting dies, I think, are the most important dies. And in my opinion, you can never have too many nesting sets. I've got so many.
It's just the ones we can go back to, because you get your card shape, then you get your matte layers, your sentiments, all your borders. Everything is within that collection, isn't it?
And when you've got lots of nesting dies, whatever die you've got that you want to pop on or sentiment, you know in your collection you're going to have the right size for it. So, you know, and these circles go down to quite a small size, so they're really, really useful. So that's your circles. Then I think this one in particular looks really lovely with the grey slate, the heart. And don't forget, of course, because these are nested, if you put 2 of them together and tape them before you run them through, you'll be making a frame rather than a mat and layer. So in particular, this heart one makes a lovely frame. So that's a really useful way to use them. Thank you. Got my lovely assistant here.
You're Debbie McGee here.
Then we've got the DLs. I'm really liking making slimline cards at the moment, so I'm really glad that we've got DLs at size, because you don't get them with all nesting dies. No. So it's really nice to have that. These are great also for sort of background elements, not just mats and layers. When you've got long strips like this, sometimes it's just nice to have some perhaps pattern cardstock and a simple floral arrangement on it. So there's lots of different ways to use these. Think of them more as strips of cards than necessarily mats and layers. So they're really useful. And then finally, we've got the squares. These squares and circles, I guess, probably my most used in terms of nesting, because they're just perfect for your mats and layers. And with all this lovely detail around the edge, these are just lovely. So that's all of those.
The very, very gorgeous nested. I'll just pop that back there, Sharon. Right, one of the other things that we have got as well, which launched yesterday and is just a real boon to have, because it's a library for you to have in your own house of back-in papers. So Carnation have brought us a brand new USB. This isn't the sort of USB that we use to cut shapes. It's different to that. This is your digital backgrounds, and it's absolutely stunning. So your digital Dreamscapes, and they've got these really stunning, very vivid background papers. Now, we've got a couple. We didn't obviously print them all because that's a lot of paper. But just to show you a few of them, if I bring them forward here, Taz, can you see them? Just pop it there so that you can go through it. I'll flick through a couple of them. I won't go through them all. But we've obviously put them in different sizes. That's entirely up to you. Which way do you decide to go? Look at those. Aren't they gorgeous? They're so vivid. The colours are stunning. You're going to create gorgeous, gorgeous backgrounds. Think of the collections that these will go with. So like Grace and Calm, all the different ones, that especially with those, they would just be so pretty. I'm just going to run through. We've got some here that have got your Christmas designs on them. Wrong way. There you go. So you've got sort of Christmas elements too, all the way through the seasons. You are going to be able to use these all year round. You'll be able to use them with different collections. There's a little set of thumbnails showing you some variations on different ones. Obviously you print them at A4, A3 if you've got an A3 printer. All your different variations there for all your different cards and all your different backgrounds, which is super useful to know and lovely to have. So I think what we're going to do is have a look at a demo from Miss Sharon. She's going to take us through her kind of ideas with Ponderance Place, so we can look at something a little bit different, and then we'll come back and have a look at what's going on at that point. So Miss Sharon.
Yes, and I thought I'd start with the card shape. I always like to do the first, when I get a new set of dies, that's where I usually start, is with the card shape itself, because it's usually sort of the main point of the collection and the main focal point. So I've cut from 350 GSM Carnation card, 2 of these. Now, in terms of scoreline, this is a funny old shape, this one, really. So you've got choices. You can do the scoreline down the side as I've done there, but equally you could do it along the top if you wanted to have your card top folding. The way that the weight would be distributed on this, it would work either way quite nicely. I've gone for down the side, and because this is a bit wiggly down the side, I've just put a few bits here and there of red liner tape. So I'll just take the backing off of those. This does work really well as a top folding card as well though, so it's really up to you which you prefer. And then I'm going to butt that up against the bottom of my mat just to try and attempt to get this one straight. There we go. That's as
Are you
good
using
as
350 there?
350, yeah.
So with Carnation, you're often better off using the 350 GSM smooth cardstock if you can. It is on the website. It's just really strong quality. It's super smooth, so you can stamp straight onto it. but it's really strong. And obviously because we build with Carnation cards and we put lots of sort of, not weight, but we put lots of elements on it, you want the strongest cardstock that you can get, and obviously that smooth finish really helps. So you'll find that on the Carnation Crafts website, so please do go and have a look at that. There's loads of stuff on the website. I will just say, while Miss Sharon's just doing that as well, the deal of the day today is amazing. Go and check it out. It is a really good deal and it's really good value. Miss Tiz Taz has been getting very excited in the corner about the deal of the day today. It's absolutely gorgeous. A lot of you have seen this before. It is a really beautiful 3D background die set. It's just gorgeous. You can create the most amazing things from these, and there's 30% off it today because it's the deal of the day, but it will end at midnight tonight, so that's as long as it will stay. And the other thing I'll just say, because Miss Sharon is just putting her mat on it, and just on the demo, sorry, and she's using Perfect Papers, and I do just want to quickly run through the Perfect Papers with you, just while Sharon's getting her bits and pieces together, because Perfect Papers are incredibly important. When the design team are creating the artwork that we see, you also get the Perfect Papers, and they're colour picked from that artwork. So you always get this gorgeous selection that goes exactly with the collection that you're buying. You get six colours, and there's 8 of each colour, so you're getting 48 sheets in there. It's white on the back, it is obviously coloured on the front, and it's like a matte gloss, which is maybe satin. Is that kind of the right?
I would say satin. Yeah, in between.
It's somewhere in between, isn't it? They're absolutely beautiful, and they're the perfect piece. If you're getting Ponderance Place today, it is especially because you're getting the 10% discount anyway, it makes absolute sense to put these in. The number for these is 230118. It does have a price today of $14.99. If you're only buying the papers, you are going to pay $2.95 UK P&P. But if you're putting it in with the rest of the collection, it would obviously be free P&P. But that is your Perfect Papers. Sorry, Sharon.
Talking of Perfect Papers, that is what I've used for my first layer. So I've gone with this lovely green. I've popped some foam tape on the back just to give a bit of dimension, and I can pop that on here. It's quite easy to line up, although not so easy to line up when you're here in the studio, because you can't put your head right over like you would if you're at home. So that's not a bad attempt. And then I've got my lovely vignette here, all cut with that beautiful reed background and this lovely fence. So I'm going to pop that straight on there, and you can see it lines up really nicely. So I'm going to use my everyday glue for this. So I can just pop some glue here and there, really. Don't have to cover all of it. Luckily there are a few kind of larger areas at the top of the reeds there, just to hold them in place. Like so. There we go. And then I can layer that on top of that, and having that green in the background just really sets that off nicely. So that's the perfect scene. So now we can bring in some of the elements. So I've got my little duckling, I've got some rocks, and I've got a little frog and some florals, so we can have a little play around here. Now I thought the duckling would be lovely in this lovely sort of copper pan of water, so that's going to be my first element I'm going to pop on. And I'm going to use some pin flare. Is it going to come out? Yep, here we go. So we'll pop that there. And then the duckling is going to sit there, but I'm going to give him a little bit of a shape first. So I'm going to bring in my mat. I'm going to flip him over and just grab a ball tool. All the cut lines here are going to mean that this is going to shape really easily. I just need to go around the edge like so, and you can see it's curving beautifully, and then I'll do the same with his head. And then I've got a lovely rounded duckling. He is just so cute.
He's gorgeous.
Absolutely love him.
Really sweet. Lovely to shape as well.
Yeah, really lovely to shape. I really enjoy using the ball tools and shaping things. Yeah. It just brings them to life, really, doesn't it?
Well, it adds a different dimension. Sculpting paper is just awesome fun anyway because of the effects that you can get from doing it.
So for the background, I'm going to pop some flowers in. I'm going to have some rocks here with the frog. But before I put him in, I'm going to put the flowers behind, just to bring a pop of colour and some more interest in the background. So we'll start up here with some yellow. Really like these florals. I'm always drawn to the florals anyway. Florals are definitely my thing. But I love the way these look against the reeds, because the reeds are quite plain and then they just get a real pop of colour.
Beautiful, aren't they? I love the colourway for the whole of Ponderance Place. I love the purples in it.
I do, yeah.
It's super pretty.
They are, yeah, really nice. And the yellow's nice and sort of spring-like, isn't it?
Yeah, which is important, right? I can't wait for spring to arrive.
No, me neither.
My favourite.
Is spring your favourite, Miss Towers?
I'd say about May time.
My favourite's actually autumn.
My favourite is summer. All
Is
the
it?
way. Yeah.
No, see, I don't like it too hot.
I didn't. When it got really hot
Excuse me.
this year, that was nuts.
Oh yeah, that wasn't pleasant, was it?
It was a whole different world.
Especially when I work in a shed in the garden. It was a bit hot.
Yeah, it
My
got, a bit,
little
it got a bit
craft
wham
shed.
in here, I'll be honest.
Yeah, gosh, yeah, I bet it did. So, I've got my little frog and my rocks. So we're going to create a little seat for him with these rocks. So this is going to add real perspective. So I want this one sticking quite forward. So I might even put a bit of Carla's super duper thick.
The
Look
infamous
at the
foam
thickness
tape.
of this foam tape. I'm going to put a bit of that on this one because that's going to really bring this forward. So we'll just pop that on there. That is as thick as a doorstep, that
I
tape.
love that foam tape.
It's brilliant, isn't it? So that's going to go there, and then this rock's going to look nice sat behind it. So I'm just going to pop a bit of pin flare on that one. So even that's not flat. And then that's the perfect little seat for Alan. Is it Alan?
Jeremy.
Jeremy. Where did I get Alan from?
Alan's the
Alan's
snail.
the snail. Jeremy. Sorry, Jeremy, getting your name wrong.
Every time.
No, it's Alan the snail. I didn't name the frog, but I named the snail. And I named the duck.
And what's the mouse called?
Monty.
Monty the mouse.
I didn't name the mouse either. I was only responsible for 2 of them.
Only responsible. There we go. So he's going to sit there on the rocks and look at his little feet. They're just perfect for putting him on something, aren't they? And then as a last little touch, I've used the Slate ovals and I've stamped a sentiment on some Perfect Blush card, and then I've used the Perfect papers for a background.
Just to explain, Perfect Blush, sorry Sharon, Perfect Blush is a cardstock that Carnation do that is just kind of off-white. So they do a Perfect Blush, there is the rose, the blue and the natural. It's like a vanilla colour. It's very, very pretty, a very soft cream, but they are all white. It's just a hint. And so when you're using them with something like this and you're using, say, your blues or your pinks, that white paper that's just got that hint of a tint really brings things to life. So again, that's something that you'll find on the Carnation Crafts website.
It's so useful, and it's a lovely finish for stamping on, actually. This is the natural I've used here. So there we go. Let's turn that around so
Absolutely
you can
stunning,
see it properly.
Sharon. Thank you.
There we go.
Isn't that so cute? That is just absolutely beautiful. Look at that.
Cute, aren't
That
they?
card shape's awesome, isn't it?
It's so nice to have a card shape because it just makes your cards stand out, doesn't it?
It does. It gives them that little bit of oomph. It is a really, really beautiful card shape. Right, this is Ponderance Place, and this is only the second day, and sales have been crazy as we expected. So if you do want to get hold of this today, you can go to the Carnation Crafts website, www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. The code for this collection is 230101. It's called Ponderance Place. The best price you can get it today is £98.99. But if you want to get it at that price, you are going to have to use a code. The code today is PPCC10. That is all in capitals. You'll just see at the top of your screen there, PPCC10. And when you get to the checkout, it'll ask you to put, if you've got a promo code, pop that into there, do it all in capitals. That's going to give you your 10%. That's off anything to do with Ponderance Place, and Carnation have been incredibly generous, and they've also given you that 10% discount for your Slate nested dies, but that will not be forever. That is because of the launch. So you'll get that price possibly for the next couple of days, and then it will go back up to its normal price. Ponderance Place, same thing, that will go up to its normal price, and that normal price is going to be £144.92. So today's definitely the time to get it. Grab your perfect papers, grab your nested dies, grab the Ponderance Place collection, pop it all into your basket. We'll give you a couple of seconds to check out just while we're talking, and then we're going to come back with Sharon doing a second demo, which is always nice to see. But just to run through the collection as well, you've got all your different pieces, including your main piece here, which is your Within the Reeds card shape. That's what you just saw Sharon demonstrating with a second ago. It is an incredible piece. It's beautifully versatile, and you can cut into it. When you've seen Sharon demonstrating earlier, and you can see on the packaging, all of this has artwork, and they are called vignettes. Your vignettes can be found on the Carnation Crafts website, which is www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. There is a banner menu. One of the options is downloads. You click on the downloads, it brings down several more options. You choose free downloads. When that loads, you go to the little box on the right hand side, which says collections. In there, just type in Ponderance Place if you're doing it for today, and it will bring up a list of PDFs. Some of those options for you are free backing papers and free inserts. You don't need to pay for any of those at all. And the free artwork is there as well. You pop them into your checkout, you go through the checkout process, they'll download to your computer. The best advice I can give you is to open them in Adobe if you possibly can. So right click and open with Adobe if you can, then put it into print. When you're printing, you really do want to use ProPrint. It is going to make a huge amount of difference. Carnation have got two variations on the artwork. So one will be a standard print, which will just be a normal printout with the images on. Pop your die on top and put it through your machine. My advice is to use either a 170 or a 220 GSM ProPrint for that basic use. That's, you know, it's just a bit stronger. But if you're doing a mirrored vignette, it will look different. It will have a black line going down the center. You're going to fold it on that black line, spray some glue on the inside, and pop the die on top of that. And that'll give you a mirrored vignette, so you'll have the image on both sides of it. If you're going to do that and you're going to use the ProPrint, which is going to give you insane color, it's just beautiful to use, you want to use the 220 because by the time it's folded, it is then 240. That's going to be strong enough and supple enough for you to be able to do all of your sculpting out, shaping out, all of your decoupage elements, and it's ProPrint paper. So for any of you who haven't had a go with ProPrint, now's an awesome time to just have a chance with it, see what you think. So get that into your baskets, and then go through your checkout process, and then we're going to come back to Sharon, and she's going to give us a second demonstration. Miss Sharon, are you ready?
I am, and you're going to laugh at me.
Again.
Because I've got little things.
Oh look,
that you're
you
going to
are
laugh at.
fully done. Fully
Taz
done.
is happy. So we're going to start with a square card. As always, the 350 Carnation card, and I've put a score line at the back.
Is that an 8x8?
I think it's
7
about
by 7?
that.
Yeah.
I tend to just eyeball mine.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're fancy.
I'm terrible for just doing what I think looks right rather than measuring. It's because I'm rubbish at maths, really. So that's my card base. And then I've got some perfect papers in the blue for my first mat. This blue is just gorgeous. It's a real, like a sort of cornflower blue. Nice.
It's beautiful,
nice,
isn't it?
warm spring blue, I think, isn't it? It's got a lovely shade to it. And then I've used some of the background papers for the next layer.
Aren't they gorgeous?
That have got those lovely florals.
Please do go and grab your backing papers and your inserts. They are completely free to you, and you can use them as often as you want. Please bear in mind as well that Carnation have got a full free angel policy. So anything that you do make, you can sell.
And I just thought it'd be nice, since I'm going to add flowers to just have some sort of going on in the background. So that's my background. And then I wanted to bring in the little house. So for the first thing that's going to go in the background is this. And I'm going to lay that flat, so I'm just going to glue that down. That's going to be in the background, and we're going to have the little house sort of more in the foreground. So I can probably put that up a little bit and have the reeds poking out over the top of the card, which will look nice. So we'll glue that in place.
I love that within the reeds. It's so pretty.
It's really, I love the fence. You know, it's one of those dies, I think, that you're going to use with so many other sets. Because you can snip into it and just use the fence on its own, can't you? And
yeah. We will be doing a composition show tomorrow at 10 o'clock where we will focus predominantly on that card shape and that piece. We will be using the whole collection, obviously, but just to show you different ways that you can use that particular card shape. So that's at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
So for my little house, I've actually popped it on Elevate. Now, Elevate is on the website. And it's basically going to turn any of your vignettes into a sticker, but a 3D sticker. So it comes like this, and what you would do is stick it to the back of your printout, your printed vignettes, then die cut, and you're going to end up with basically a sticker. So you can peel the back off.
Elevate is just the best thing ever.
Fabulous, isn't it?
So it comes in a packet of 10, and you get 5 sheets that are 1.5 millimeters and 5 sheets that are 2 millimeters. If my brain serves me right, if my memory serves me right.
I'm glad you remembered that.
I know, and it is on the Carnation Crafts website. Elevate is one of the best ever things. Can I just say as well that it is a moldable foam, so you are still able to mold and shape, which is amazing. It's fully sticky. If you're using Elevate, just to give you a little tip and trick, keep the backing sheet. When you first take off your first backing sheet, in order to put your vignette on top of it, keep that backing sheet so you can use that to put all of your stickers on. You can then place that into a folder and keep them all together, so you've always got stickers to go back to at any later time. Elevate's just a really awesome thing, but the other really important thing about Elevate is that it also works in a USB machine as well. So any of your cutting machines, it will work there. It's on the Carnation Crafts website. The number is 191216. It's $14.99 at the moment. It's just one of those ace things. It smells really nice, and that logo is Elevate.
Is it?
You're telling them all the TV secrets.
It's Elevate.
Wow,
No, listen, it's important to know, right? This is what we can achieve.
It's such a cool
with
thing.
Elevate. Yeah,
it really is, and and the fact that it die cuts so well. I mean, you can see if I flip this over, you can see all the little cut marks on the back of the foam. It's cut through all of that, so it means I can just pop this on, and it's already got the dimension for me. Now, I was talking about the little raindrops on this house and how I love those. And I wanted to give you a couple of different ideas for how to enhance them.
It makes such a difference, doesn't it?
And what I might do actually is, once I've shown you, is I'll snip away one of these, because I really liked how you did that yesterday. So the first ones, these are more dimensional. These are little dewdrops that I've bought. I'll just put some in here. They come in different sizes. Lots of companies do them. They're like little, I think they actually are called dewdrops. And all you need to do is pop some adhesive. I'm using Glossy Accents with a fine nozzle here. And all I need to do is just pop a bit of Glossy Accent down, and then I can pick one up and drop it on. So that's going to give you quite sort of dimension, if that makes sense. The other option is just go in with your Glossy Accents, because when they dry raised, and it just looks so realistic, like little water droplets.
Both of them make a huge difference. You can use pin flare as well. You can use your pin flare glue.
Yeah,
you can use droplets of it because it dries.
Solid, doesn't it?
You would have to wait longer for pin flare. So if you have it in the little syringe, you would put droplets on there and you just wait for 24 hours.
Yeah, Glossy Accents take probably only about half an hour to dry, particularly if you're only doing little drops like this. So they're both really good options, really. And we were talking about how easy this is to snip into. So let's do that. Let me grab my scissors, because I liked that. So if you just follow the line, there are just literally little pip lines.
You can hear it. When you hit a pip, you can hear them popping.
Hear that then?
And that just means that you're hitting the right point.
So you don't really have to cut, you just push your scissors along.
It's not advised, but if ever you find yourself without scissors, and I have been in that position before, you can kind of very gently pull them and they will give. Obviously, that's not an exact science. We do obviously recommend scissors, but it is an option if you're stuck at any point.
It's a very clever design, actually, because fussy cutting, you know, not everyone likes it. I actually...
The nature of having them designed as dies from the beginning, so the artwork itself takes into account that at some point it needs certain lines that are going to be cut and certain lines that are going to be pips.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to pop
It might be a bit stiff, that, Sharon.
It is
you
a
might
bit
need
stiff.
to pop
Here
your
we go.
perky tool.
That's fine. I just need to be a bit stronger, I think. So that can go on there. And I love that dimension. And then all those little droplets.
It just allows a different perspective, doesn't it? Because the
really
little
does.
building sits back when you do that, which is very sweet.
So I think we're going to have the little rocking chair tucked to the side, perhaps. I've got my little frog. This is very much floating in midair at the moment, so I certainly need to be grounding that. So I shall probably put some rocks here, and then we might have a little frog sitting there, I think. I've got plenty of rocks cut so that I can play around. The other thing I'm going to do is add these beauties up the top here, sort of going off of that circle, because I think that will look quite nice. Let me just put a bit more glue in here.
It looks like a sunrise.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it, with a circle? Yeah. It's a nice sort of design feature to use a circle, isn't it, when you're building a scene.
There's certain elements from this that when you put
the artwork, really pretty, so they can sit up there. And then I think for these, might even go in, yeah, we'll go in with pin flare, if I'm strong enough to get it out the tube.
Squeeze it, Sharon.
Here we go. Ooh. There we go. So we'll pop those there. And then a little frog. I'm just going to give him a little shape with my hands, just to curve him a little bit. There we go. And tuck him in a little bit. Now don't worry that he's floating a bit that side, because I've got plenty of rocks here. I can come in with another one just to build that up. Tuck that in like so. I love his little feet, the little circles. The details are just so cute, aren't they?
He's just very handsome, isn't he?
And then I think we'll pop this one over here. And I can tuck my rocking chair kind of on top of this one. There we go. And then the rocking chair. Love this rocking chair. It's such a nice little extra thing to have, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I just really like the artwork for it as well. It's just really sweet. And I love rocking chairs, so very, very good. Sheila says, good morning, Carla and team. What a fantastic service. I only ordered mine and it's come in the post today. I can't wait to play with them. I'm really pleased for you, Sheila. You're going to have so much fun with this collection. It's just beautiful to sit and make your designs with. Thank you for letting us know.
The beauty of having all these separate rocks is, you know, you can see here I've got a gap here which looks odd because you can kind of see the bottom there. You can play around with these, layer them up just so you've got perfect.
They work just as well if you use a couple of them upside down as well, if you're canny with how your shading is, in order for you to create a different kind of curvature. So there are ways of manipulating those rocks to be exactly what you want them to be. So if you're using a layered aperture, for instance, and you want to create that curvature, if it was a circle, you can absolutely do that just by playing with which way round they go as well. So just manipulate them. That is absolutely stunning, Sharon.
That little house is so cute, isn't it?
And it does look like it's sitting either in front of a sun or a moon. It's just gorgeous. I love the slates. I think those nested dies are amazing. This whole collection is absolutely stunning. You'll find Ponderance Place on the Carnation Crafts website, www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. The number for it is 230101. The show price today, which is your best price, is £98.99. That's with a code that you need to use at the checkout, which is PPCC10. That's all in capitals. While you are on the Carnation Crafts website, definitely go and have a look at the new Carnation Crafts calendar, which is on the website, which shows you all the shows that are going to be coming up in the near future. It's on the homepage of the website, and there is a little tab at the top which allows you to get there. It's color coded, so you can see whether it's going to be a die launch, a USB launch, whether it's a Facebook Live. You can see all the different variants that are there on that calendar, and it's yours to use. We will just say that those times can be subject to change depending on what's happening, and depending obviously on, you know, things that happen in the world. So just to let you know, it is subject to change, but your general ruling is all there for you to see at the tips of your fingers. We will be back at 2 p.m. with another show for Miss Sharon to do some gorgeous demos for you, and so we're just going to go and have some lunch. We hope you have a lovely lunchtime as well, and we hopefully will see you in an hour. Take care till then. Bye.